The irony of dragging a lipstick while I have lipstick on my teeth. Happy New Year, makeup friends, and welcome back to my channel. Or if you are new here, then welcome. My name is Kara, and here on my channel in 2021, we are going to try to find a balance of sassy and classy. And what better way to put that to the test than to start off with some good-natured negativity. We're going to be talking about the 5 worst products that I tried in 2020. No preamble necessary. Let's jump straight into it. These are in no particular order. I didn't bother trying to rank them and find what was the absolute worst because frankly, all of these are pretty bad. One of them I still have in my collection and I intend to keep in my collection, but the rest of them, not so much. So why don't we start off with that one then? This is a palette that I picked up in the early part of 2020, I feel like. Although who knows, it might have been November. I don't know, I've lost all sense of time. Did 2020 really mean anything to anybody? I don't know, it's all a blur. Anyways, it's from Adept Cosmetics and it is their 420 palette. This retailed for $77 Canadian. And when I saw the promo pictures of it, I was okay with the price point because the color story, this one up here, is beautiful. It's right up my alley. I love these warm, earthy kind of tones. It's a fun play on neutral. I just thought it was so gorgeous. So when it was released, I dropped the coin, picked it up. First of all, you'll see that it's now housed in a magnetic palette. That's because the packaging on this was atrocious. That's the only word that I can use to describe it. It had this like 3D kind of shifting picture to it, which in and of itself was pretty cool, except that it was that like plastic ridged kind of material. I don't know what it's called, but my God, I cannot stand the feeling of that. Even just thinking about the texture of it just like sends a shiver down my spine. It's like nails on a chalkboard to me. And it wasn't just on the front cover, it encased the entire palette. So no matter how I held it, I was in direct contact with it and I could not abide it. So I depotted it, put it in this magnetic palette, and then it looked really like lonely on its own. So poor little Gemini got the boot from its housing as well, and I thought that these color stories would play nicely together. But here's my problem with 420. It's crap. There. So you have like a really strong yellow shade over here, and then this one is a pretty green. And I tried to do like a bit of an ombre thing. I tried to mix the yellow into the green and get it progressively darker. And the problem is, once you apply it to the eyes, they all look the same. Literally no differentiation between them. There's only one shimmer in the palette, which frankly, I can get past. I prefer a few more shimmer options, but it's not a deal breaker for me because I can reach for others. And frankly, the color they chose for the shimmer is the best color they could have chosen with this. But these mattes, they're so difficult to work with, especially these darker ones, which really could have been a bit of a like show stealer. Nope, they are, I mean, they're pigmented. I will give them that. But unfortunately, that pigment just like adheres and doesn't want to blend out. These shadows don't like to blend together. They turn into this like murky, amorphous, one color blob on the eyes. It's just not a fun palette. It's a palette that I can use if I only use 2, 3 at the absolute most colors, but I cannot blend multiple shades of this on my eyes. So this is the kind of palette that it's workable, but you gotta keep it super simple. Now the problem that I have with Melt is that they are so wildly inconsistent and their price point does not allow for inconsistencies. If I'm dropping $10 to maybe $15, $20 on a palette and it turns out to be a bit of a dud, I kind of got what I expected. It's not that huge of a deal. $77 though? Like that is far too much money for there to be this level of inconsistency. And some of their palettes knock it out of the park. The quality is amazing, and even though they have really pigmented shadows, you can still blend them out, no problem, and they will mix and match with each other, and each shade, one from the next, shows up differently on the eyes. This palette, however, was a hot old mess, and as a consumer, it ticks me off because I know what their bar is set at. And when they come in down around here, charging the same price as they do for up here, it ticks me off. So Melt, please, for the love of all that's holy, work on your consistency, nail down your formula, and then I will come back to you. The next product that I want to talk about is another one that I still have in my collection, but it's on its way out as soon as I finish filming that. And it is from Bare Minerals. It is the Gen Nude Radiant Lipstick. It's terrible. This is in the shade Posh. The color itself, totally fine. I don't mind it at all. It's a brownie sort of shade, little bit of a red undertone in there. Certainly not like a day-to-day kind of shade for me, but a pretty addition to my collection. However, I refuse to wear this outside of my house. I'll tell you why. I wore this lipstick when I filmed a video, and I can't remember exactly what the video was, but I do remember that I was speaking about multiple products. And the reason I remember that is because between each product that I spoke about, I had to touch up my lipstick. This lipstick, it's a nomad. It just likes to wander and travel. It wandered down past my lip line. It camped out in the corners. It was a hot old mess. The center of my lips, the lipstick was just like, peace out, I'm out of here, I don't like this. I want to camp out about, 2 millimeters below where your lips actually start. It feathered, it bled. Like I said, it just went right into the corners of the mouth. The number of times I had to wipe it away. It was such a hot mess. So while it's very emollient and comfortable on the lips, it is a high liability kind of product. It is not something, and certainly not in this kind of dark shade, not anything that I would wear outside of filming. Unless I had a mirror like constantly in my hand, literally constantly, just to keep checking to see where in the hell on my face this lipstick is. It retails for like $26 Canadian. Fun fact though, when I tried to find it on the Sephora website before filming this video, it's no longer there. So possibly even they know just how terrible it is. So while there are products from Bare Minerals that I do like, this ain't one of them. All right, so then that's gonna take us into products that I do not have anymore. 1, I decluttered. 2, I returned. The one that I decluttered was from Tom Ford. Thankfully, it was just a deluxe size sample, because this mascara retails for $61 Canadian. For $61, I expect that this mascara is delivered from heaven above and comes with a chorus of angels. $61. Also, I expect that it's going to be amazing, and the Badass Extreme Eyes, whatever it's called, mascara was not amazing, my friends. Was not amazing. It was so sticky, I can't even begin to describe. So you apply it, it gives a bit of curl. That's about the best I can say about it. It didn't really volumize anything, unless you count the clumping of the lashes together as added volume, which frankly, I don't. But also, by like 12 hours later, my lashes were still sticky. How is that even possible? I'm very glad that I didn't put money out towards that mascara. But I will say, I'm not very well versed on all things Tom Ford. I haven't tried very much from his line at all. But I do know there is another mascara from him currently on the Sephora sale section on the Canadian site. I can't remember what it's called. It comes in a white tube. It has a 1-star rating. So it's possible that Tom Ford just doesn't know how to do mascara. But let me tell you, that Extreme Eyes Badass or Badass Extreme Eyes, it was Badass something. They could have just stopped at bad, because that's exactly what it was. All right, the next product retailed for about $16 Canadian, and it was from Morphe. It was one of their 9-pan palettes, the 9C Color Me Cool. I'll just insert a picture here because I returned this lickety-split. This palette frustrated the absolute hell out of me to use. I thought the color story was really pretty. I thought that I would give Morphe another chance. It's been probably 2 years since I've actually bought anything from them. So I bought this palette and I bought the khaki one, the Call Me Khaki, Color Me Khaki, something khaki, I can't remember. And this one, this was awful. Those pigments just moved across my lid. You could literally see it. I did a live stream where I did live eye swatches. First of all, I'll never do that again. That was a terrible idea. But also, you could literally see the pigment just moving with the brush, and then it would just like disappear into the ether. Like, where the hell did it go? It didn't fall down on my cheeks. It just like vanished. How is that even possible? But you would think for a brand that made its name on eyeshadows that their eyeshadows would perform a little bit better than they did. Apparently not. I'm also not in a big hurry to go back to Morphe for a multitude of reasons, least of which is the fact that clearly they don't know how to formulate eyeshadow. For the life of me, I don't know why they get the hype that they do, but they do. And it's probably because of their price point, but this is a classic case of you get what you pay for. I have saved the lowest price point item till the end, but it's possibly the most objectionable. Possibly. So this is from CoverGirl. It comes in around $11 to $12 Canadian, and it's the Clean and Fresh Skin Milk. First of all, skin milk. No, thank you. No, thank you. Second of all, my God, this was terrible. I mean, the only good thing I can say about this product is that it's cruelty-free and vegan. Good things, but that's where the accolades end. This was hot garbage on my face. It created pores that I don't even actually have. I'm going to insert some pictures. Now, you know when foundations are like, you can get 36 hours of wear out of this product. And you're like, no, you can't, because nobody should be wearing makeup for 36 hours. But if they did wear their makeup for 36 hours, this is what you would expect it to look like. However, this was less than 36 minutes. I looked like a dappled pony, for God's sake. I had so many little pores all over my face, and then it created weird dry patches that didn't even exist. It was terrible. It didn't blend into my skin. It just sat on top of it. It looked like a cakey, powdery satchel of Richards, plopped itself down on my face, did a little bit of this, and then pieced the fuck out. It was awful. So that one got returned very quickly, and I have continued on my campaign of just side-eyeing CoverGirl because their products and I, for whatever reason, do not get along. There are some exceptions, but this ain't one of them. However, it did provide me with a bit of a take-home message, and that is, nothing good comes from a product called skin milk. All right, and on that note, I'm going to wrap this video up here. I would love to hear from you in the comments what some of the worst products were that you tried in 2020, or if you tried any of these products and you did happen to love them, please let me know your secret because I could not get any of these to work properly for me. So I would love to hear from you in that regard. At any rate, thank you so much for taking the time to watch, and I will see you in my next video. Until then, just be a decent human being. Bye for now.